The basic template, the basic template that most men have a tendency not to look at or not to practice because it was never emphasized in them or drilled into their heads enough that whoever you're attracted to, and unfortunately, as men, when a woman captures us, she looks a certain way, especially us as black males, you know how it is. The booty, we gone, Some people it's the hips and whatever it is you got going on, but oftentimes she got cute face and everything, you're gone. But the basic template that we really need to have ingrained into our minds, and if we lead with this template, we'll be dating better, we'll come off better, is that any woman that comes onto your radar, you ought to really look at her teachers. Look at her teachers. If you really put your feelings or emotions aside, it's weird how women often think that men don't have feelings or don't have emotions, right? We're painted as this kind of like logs, just a piece of wood that, just doesn't feel anything. That's why in the breakup, they really don't concern about our emotions or our feelings. It's almost like only a woman can feel. But if you put your emotions and your feelings aside and lead with the template of who were this woman who I like, who were her teachers, and one of the biggest teachers is who are her friends. Who does she hang with? Okay, like. Women really follow each other. And, they say birds of the flock together. Men sometimes, we really, like I mean, a lot of guys be like, he's just got a hobby. One guy is into like collecting electronic devices from the 80s. And that's his little hobby. He don't care that nobody else like that hobby. Okay, he don't care. That's what he does. Another friend of mine, he used to collect stamps, stamp collection. Okay, cool. Another one used to collect little coins. So another friend of mine used to collect old typewriters. Men tend to have those type of hobbies where they don't care about other men. You just say, look, I'll show you, I collect, some people collect cars. So men have a tendency to have those hobbies that they don't care about who is down with the hobby or not. He's not going to be embarrassed about it. But if you look at most behaviors of women, you'll find it's not just an individual thing, it's collective. A girl be into, like a certain little crop tops are in, that's what she be doing. A certain TV series, like an example is, what's that movie? 50 Shades of Grey. All girls be on it. I remember one time I was going through high school, Harry Potter was the thing. All girls were reading that book. All girls were reading that book. So that tells you that women, they need a source. They have some type of leader. And if you look at the leaders in terms of music for women, that's their teachers, right? The Beyonce, the Rihanna, the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. These are her teachers. Now, unlike men, I can look at Michael B. Jordan acting very well, or back in the day, like Tyrese, in Fast and Furious. And I know I'll never be Tyrese. The man can sing, the man can act, but I know I could never be. But the world which we live, women often believe that they can be that girl because, you've seen with this Chris Brown thing, the meet and greet, any regular girl can be in the presence of Chris Brown. Okay. And beauty can be brought into proximity with certain power or celebritism because of how the world moves. Men know that, hey, that's just fiction. That's just TV. I'll move on. But if you don't look at her teachers as take the musician seriously, the one she's trying to dress like seriously, or if she follows a certain man of God, especially Nigerian pastors, they really be cleaning up. She follows him, everything she posts up. It doesn't matter who it is. She's always following that. Or even her mother, even her sister. You look at her teachers. If you fail to look at her teachers, because remember, her teachers represent who she is. Those are bits and pieces of who she's made up of. A lot of men become undone and say, oh, she just, I thought she was just an individual and I got with her or I married her. And now it looks like her friends got such an influence or her pastors got such an influence. She takes everything to her pastor or everything to her mother. That's what she was to begin with. You failed. It's not hard. You failed. So learn to look at her teachers. That's very, very important because it's indicative of who she really is. Because women do not move like men do. Oftentimes we feel like they're the same. We're not.